Hello, my name is Anna Marie Cowart, and this is an evaluation of online dating. We'll be going over some risks, some benefits, some pros and cons, and some things that we should all be wary of. The digital age is an interesting time to try to start dating. A lot of my young peers in my college courses are just now starting to get into really looking for a partner, and it's interesting to see how many of them are on dating apps. It's hard to make a connection with people when we're so forced onto computers and laptops and we're screen worthy. Not to be judgmental about it. I think it's just part of how we were all raised, especially going through COVID. But online dating can be a really wonderful place to meet some really wonderful people. You might be asking, how in the world do you know that? Well, to start off, online dating is how I met my husband. We started dating in 2001 during COVID when I was not supposed to be dating. My mom told me absolutely not. It is not okay for you to date. You can't go meet people outside of our house. But I was 18 and I did what I want and I started to get to know people. I made a few connections through college and online, and I did know who my husband was, and I knew of him before we matched on Bumble. But the nice thing about matching on Bumble is that it recontextualizes a friendship into something of, oh, I'm interested in you. It kind of gets you past that first barrier of saying, I like you, because it's like, well, you swiped right on me, so you must like me in some way or another. I really think that it helped jumpstart a relationship that would have happened anyways and gave us more time to date rather than just hang out. Even though I had met him at parties and other places, it gave me time to really say, I really like you. This might start as a friendship, but we both know that we're interested in the next thing. Speaking of which, there are a few criteria for successful online dating. Not every time will get you a match. Online dating is wonderful at showing you how to choose the right person. It gives you right up front things that you might be absolutely looking for or absolutely not looking for. Being able to choose the right person with the right age, the right sexuality, the right je ne sais quoi. It definitely gives you a jump start on knowing who you're looking for and what you want. Making safe choices is another huge criteria for successful online dating. You have to be safe. You can't trust the other person, the person you're meeting, to be safe for you. There's a lot of different features that might try to help protect your safety and your online digital safety and keep you from being stalked or harmed in any way, but it's really up to the user to know what is best for them and to protect themselves. Whether that's never going to a second location or always driving yourself to the date and not being picked up from your home, or having a friend bring you to the place and letting everyone else know where you're at and when you're expected back home. Very important things. Obviously, if you know the person already and it's just a recontextualized friendship, very different situation. But there are safety concerns that come with online dating. The other nice thing about successful online dating is that it gives you prompts, no matter what app you're on at this point. They've all learned from each other that giving people prompts to get to know each other inspires creation or inspires connection. Engaging conversations don't start from nothing and they don't end in nothing. They need to start and begin with something truthful and meaningful. It's a wonderful connection to make when you happen to just like something else that somebody else has on their profile and you're able to connect on something that maybe you've never connected with someone before. Some of my favorite things about online dating is how it fosters real connection through those prompts. Having pictures and things up front that people are willing to talk about makes it so much easier to start even just a friendship online. Unfortunately, because there's so many pictures and it's such a game to have something that someone else will respond to, it's always, what is it? Dogs and cats, and then sometimes there's just a lot of people have their hunting profile. It's like, I'm not looking for you to hunt for me, but thank you for showing me that large fish that you caught. The superficialness of only being able to look at a picture and not really connect with someone in person, face to face, there is a huge difference. At least, yeah, there's a huge difference. When you meet someone in person, you're able to get a better vibe off of them. Their online profile is curated to entice you, to swipe on you, for you to swipe on them. It's curated and calculated to a point where it might not be their genuine self, and you really are just seeing a snapshot of who they want you to see. And in some ways that can be dangerous, and in other ways it's just projecting, and really that's what everyone wants to do on a first date, is to show you their best version of themselves with none of their icky nitty-gritty stuff. Just their beautiful, wonderful side that they know that they could be. As you get to know someone more, it all sort of falls apart. But their image, or lack of successfully creating an image, should not hold anyone from getting to know another person. Let's go on to safety. Again, it is a huge concern in the online dating community. It can be very dangerous to go and meet up with someone you've never met before and you don't have any connections with anymore. Then again, the same safety concerns could be held for anyone, even if you're just meeting your mom has set you up on a date for some reason, and it's a blind date and you're going to go meet this person. You still don't know them, but you have more reason to trust them because one of your relatives has set you up. A wonderful way around this is the verification process. It is a paid subscription, but it allows people to prove their identity and show that they are exactly who they say they are, whether that is through their ID card, which is issued by the government, or if it is through a series of pictures that prove that the pictures that are on their profile are the person who is speaking to you. The fact that it's a paid subscription, does keep some people from being able to provide this verification process, but dating is also sort of about peacocking wealth and showing off that they can be a supportive person and that they have the money to spend on dates and doing these things. So it's just another expense that gets added to the pile of the very expensive part of dating someone. Speaking about money, let's talk about where it goes. Dating apps are monetized. Some people feel very uncomfortable with the fact that their meeting someone else needs to produce money for someone else, for a corporation, that it can be tracked, that it is, what's the number? 6,331.14 million is the projected number of money that it will hit in 2027. That's a lot of money to be making off of connections between other people. Kind of a wonderful thing to be thinking of, but also it makes some people very uncomfortable. Fortunately, for these companies, dating has always been monetized. Things that would cost A cake that would cost $100 for a birthday party costs 10% more because it's for a wedding. Love is a marketable thing that you can have people spend exuberant amounts of money on for no apparent reason, and it's just an accepted part of life. Valentine's Day, there's an upcharge for every restaurant in the area. It's not a huge deal, I think, that it's a lucrative business that a company is connecting people with other people. It's actually a service to us and everyone else who's using it. I'm just going to throw some random facts at you about modern dating, things that might be encouraging, hopefully. 38% of users are open to dating outside of their normal type, looking at people who are taller or shorter, older or younger than they're used to, looking for people who are less or more of what they expected in a person. Also, 47% of the US population are single, which is kind of fun to think about how huge the dating pool is. There's so many people to choose from. There's so many different people from different walks of life, and so many ways to approach one person to another. Again, though, some of their dating profiles might seem very similar. It's because when you're online dating, you are playing a game. It's a game of attention, of who can keep the attention longest and who can stay relevant the most and who can stay at the top of your mind for the longest amount of time. I think what people find, though, is that once those illusions of perfection drop and you kind of see who the person is underneath, it becomes more clear to you who's a keeper and who is not. One more, 47% of daters prioritize a work-life balance. Thank goodness. People want both things. Every single time. If they can have both, they'll have both. And it's kind of a wonderful fact to have almost half of daters want for the person to continue on their life and for them to continue in their life as they have been going, just with the added asset of having someone to have and to hold. Let's go back to safety. So, catfishing is obviously one of the biggest safety concerns of online dating. It's when somebody makes a fake or deceitful profile to trick people into clicking on them, to going out with them, to meeting them in insecure places, to finding out their insecurities for real, to exploitation. And there are just ways to prevent it, to protect yourself. One of them is only going for people with verification or someone you've already made a connection with through friendships. Another would be to always meet in public places, making sure that somebody knows where you're at and that your location is on at all times. It's dangerous to be catfished, but it's not so dangerous that it should lead to anyone feeling too anxious to actually go out there and date. It's an unfortunate part and it's a risk, but it's also something that could happen in a regular blind date situation. To meet new people, you have to risk yourself, and it sucks, but it's true that there are some things that are worth putting yourself out there for. All in all, the internet knows you very well. It knows your likes, your dislikes, the algorithm that Google shares with Tinder, that Tinder shares with Bumble. It all understands you and your preferences. You've been on it your whole life. Well, some of us, I have been on it my whole life. I know it knows exactly what I like to see and what I don't like to see. Why not? Why not try letting it find the perfect partner for you? Could be really fun. Or you could get heartbroken. There's always a risk of that, though. There are some precautions you gotta take and some things you gotta do to make sure that you're safe, but really, putting yourself out there, it really might not hurt as much as you think it will. Anyways, online dating, yes, It's good.